College Football 25 comes out in a couple weeks, and one missing feature is high school and road to glory, so I found a Texas high school football mod, and I'm gonna start my College Football 25 road to glory now. I'll be narrowing down my college decision throughout the year, and hopefully committing to a college somewhere, but playing 6A high school football in Texas isn't easy, and I'm just gonna use myself because I couldn't do this in real life. With my size, I'm not even the starting quarterback, so I'll have to work and practice to earn that, even though I'm a senior at Harker Heights High School, and I'm hoping my team can make the Texas high school playoff. I also get to choose 3 colleges I really want to attend, but I won't get recruited until I step onto the field, so it doesn't matter that one of my dream schools to play at is LSU. As a realistic second option, I'll choose North Texas to stay near my family, and then I'll throw South Carolina on here too because they're in the SEC. If any of the big Texas schools want me though, I might commit there instead, and of course I'm going to play on the hardest difficulty. My first task has to be going from a second stringer to a starter, because for our first home game of the season, everyone was super excited for it but me. All I could do was watch as we won 34-24, and I have to take the starting job from Garrett Grady. It's not going to be easy since he just got us a win, but I'm still confident I can pull it off. I feel like if I'm able to evade the pocket, step up, and then toss it over to a receiver, that's pretty impressive. So I just need my coach to take note, and defensively, we are putting that ball in the right spot. It's a bunch of high school players out there. I can't expect them to lock down all these receivers, and all I really want to do is earn enough coach trust to have a position battle where I try to get the starting job. So far, I've earned quite a bit of coach trust because I've completed almost all my passes, but as the reps dwindle down, I need a little bit more, and Samson Jr.'s open for a touchdown. Sure enough, my head coach was impressed, so I should get my chance to pass up Grady, but before that can happen, we have another game. I can't lie, I wish I did a little bit more than just hold for the kicks, especially since we're beating Gorman by 41 to end the third quarter, and now I've been gifted what I wanted, a chance to step out on the field and impress everybody that's out there watching. If I'm ever going to make it to the college level, it's very important that I go out and dominate, but I can't help the fact that I'm playing with a bunch of high schoolers like myself, so there's going to be mistakes like we had on the last play. I don't know how I'm going to become the starter considering we're winning by so much. I'm in as the backup, but we fumbled the ball away and that could have been my first touchdown. I'm so disappointed in my tight end right now, but I'd get another opportunity to throw for one, and this time it worked. At the end of the day, we dominated with 34 first downs to their 9, and we're going to win 55-0. But what's really important is next week I'm the starter. I've done well in my limited time on the field, but I've made zero progress towards generating any college interest, and that makes sense because I'm a 1-star recruit. I have to make sure that I'm the one out there on Friday night, so we're going to do that with this position battle against Grady. And earning 2,000 coach trust is a very tough task to do, but we'll see if I'll pull it off. It looks like they're already sending in blitzes immediately, but I was able to get the ball out in time even though my offensive line couldn't block to save their life, and are you kidding? Because my teammate just fumbled the ball, I'm going to get no coach trust for that, so we need to have a big play, and Hughes Jr. is going to truck that player to take it into the end zone. My coach trust just changed drastically. That was huge, but with 6 reps left, we still have to get a lot more coach trust, and I don't know if that's going to happen. I need another touchdown or 2, and with this 4 verticals play call, they're going to swat it down. So now there's 4 reps left, and our wide receivers don't seem to be getting very open. I'm going to have to scramble even though I'm not the quickest out there on the field, and I'll take it. 3 reps left now. I cannot afford to lose this starting job, but I don't think I'm going to get it, and that is such a shame. I mean, it wouldn't even make sense for them to replace me, but I want them to. At the end of the day, I lost the position battle, but we do get next Friday off, so I have another opportunity, and it's out there in the rain, which is not good. It's coming down pretty hard here in Texas today. I don't know why we have an indoor and an outdoor facility, but my coach keeps calling the same play over and over, and this time instead of throwing it, I'm going to try to run for a bit. Those don't seem to help the coach trust too much though. We're going to keep taking corner routes like this one to Byers, and I'm not messing up another opportunity to be the starter for Harker Heights, but that throw is off the marks. It's hard to believe as a senior I could even get good offers to schools if I'm not the starter yet, but maybe I can. And this is all a part of my journey to figure out where I'm going to start my first road to glory in College Football 25. That pass got us to the 10, and this is what I'm talking about. We can still make some stuff happen. I put that on a tightrope. So at the bottom of my screen, it says position battle 1, and that's all I needed. We're starting to dominate. My coach can no longer overlook me now, and it's important that I keep upgrading myself in high school so I'm better by the time I get to college. This is my opportunity to finally be recruited, and it all starts on the road at Katy High School. I'm a little bit worried by the way that they're running out of the tunnel, but all I can do is play my best, and football is serious here in Texas. This stadium is literally huge, and I'm going to get tackled for a loss, so the odds of us picking up this 3rd and 15 are not very high, but McLaurin is going to get it. We've been trying to run the ball a lot so far, but it's just not working, and that makes it another 3rd and long where I'm going to try to fit it in that gap when I'm able to do it. I don't know how to say his name, but Alex something was on the end of that last catch, and we're continuing to push it down the field. This is a very good first drive for me since I just became the starter. We're about to score a touchdown, and Marcus Byers, my buddy, just fought his way in. I've already got gotten the Harker Heights Knights 7 points, but because they got 3, we're only up by 4 now, and I'm just going to extend this play for as long as possible. We're going against other high schoolers, so nobody's defense should be great, and I'm going to have another deep pass that's almost picked. No wonder my coach wants us to run the ball more. I mean, you have to have a great quarterback to throw the ball a ton in high school, and considering not even one college is interested in me yet, I cannot consider myself a great quarterback at this point. I'm hoping if I play well enough in this first game, though, I'm going to start to get some schools that are interested, and I'm very lucky that I got that ball out there. Now Gant's going to take it for almost a first, making it 3rd and 1, where we continue to pound the football. I'm almost positive all the players on this mod are real high school football players, and I'll make sure to have a link in the description so you all can also check out this high school football mod because it's sick. I don't know a ton about Texas high school football, but I did watch Friday Night Lights, so I recognize some of these schools, and it's very hard to hook up with my wide receivers. After that missed pass on 3rd down, they would score, so now we're in trouble. But luckily, the ref called pass interference there, and ideally, we're able to just maintain this 2-possession lead, but what was I thinking? That's a really bad mistake to make in my first game, so I'm fortunate that my coach really trusts me, which gives me a little bit of room for error, and now we're going to have another big play. This is why I'm out there on the field. On the next 1st and 10, I'm going to just take the zig route. You have to get whatever's open and go for it. We're going to fight for a bit more, and eventually one of our running backs will get in. Maybe it'll be Winston Gant as he gets 6, and after my defense got an interception, Harker Heights is in a good position, but I can't outrun this defensive lineman. It is 4th and 18. We're probably just going to check it down and hope that Hughes Jr. somehow makes a great play, but he didn't, so it's a miracle. With 2 minutes left in this game, we're still up by 11, and this entire 4th quarter has been about us trying to get rid of the rest of the clock. With it being 4th down, though, we have to take our field goal, and it is hard to believe how well we have done against them. Asbury's done nothing, and I got the win in my first start. I thought Katy High School was a little bit better at football, but they allowed me to win player of the game, and even though I'm still just a 1-star recruit, I've finally gotten some college interest, and I have to get back to Tulane. Between them and North Texas, I'm still far away from getting a scholarship, but I'm pretty confident if I continue to work hard during practice, I can make that happen by the end of the year. I'm already getting pretty close to becoming a veteran starter, and even though we haven't been ranked in the top 25 yet, we have started to receive some votes. It looks like all the conferences are broken down by the regions, so you can see all of the different ones here in the 6A level at Texas, and it looks like this mod will eventually have teams all the way down to the 3A level. For now, though, we're playing Smithson Valley next, and I've never been the starter for a home game. It's not a Friday night game, but it looks like maybe we're playing on a Saturday, and all we've done from the start is continue to run the ball. It might help us win, but it's not going to help me get college offers. I have to throw for that, and Hughes Jr. was wide open, so I had to get it in his direction, and that was a crazy blitz. 3rd and 14, where this corner route did not get open the way I wanted it to, but the other wide receiver over there did. It's always Byers that's at the end of what we want, and Marcus Byers should be getting offers to a ton of colleges. I ended up looking up his name on Google. He's not a real player, so maybe the mod doesn't have real players in the game, but I would never expect that out of them, and that's a huge run. That would be pretty crazy to be a high school player in Texas and then see your face on a mod, but either way, it still looks amazing. I don't think that's a big deal at all, and I can't believe how many sacks we've already taken. It's not looking too good in that department. I have to be a little bit more aware in the pocket, but at least we keep on picking up these first downs, and that is going to be my first turnover of the game. No college wants somebody that keeps throwing interceptions, but that's what I keep on doing, and they're sending in another blitz. I'm really struggling at this high school level currently, but I'm also a 1-star recruit, and come on. I didn't think we'd be tied at the end of the first quarter, but we are. It's probably my fault, and it's starting to get a little bit darker. That ball was put perfectly on the money to number 2. McLaurin might be gone, but unfortunately, he was caught, and I have to figure out what that kill and ISO means that's written in the end zone. I think it's the school district, but either way, it doesn't really matter because we just scored, and I would love to get another touchdown against this defense. I feel like we could take the top off of it, and that is what we have done. Samson Jr.'s gone. I'm placing the ball pretty well deep for a high school quarterback, and our receivers keep getting open, but by midway through the 3rd quarter, it is still 20-7, and I had to go for that. I'm hoping a performance like this would put me on the radar of a lot of other colleges around the state, because aside from that one interception, I am doing just fine. It also helps that I play for a high school that's as good as Harker Heights. We're about to reach the end zone again, but instead of running the ball, coach wants me to throw it, so I'll do that. Our defense would force another turnover, so it's pretty much over, and Smith Valley High School was not very impressive in this matchup against us. We dominated them throughout the entire game, and with stats like this, I am hoping I have a scholarship offer at the end of the day. That wasn't the case though, because as you can see, I'm still a 1-star, and if I had to pick playing with any of these schools, it would have to be playing with the minors. I might not have any official offers yet, but I do play for a top 25 team, and just looking around our region, Longview's the only other undefeated one. I've also become a veteran starter, but next up I want to become a team captain, so for that to happen, I have to take take down Round Rock High. This stadium's massive, so even though I've never heard of Round Rock before, I'm afraid that they're going to be really good. And drops in the rain are not how I wanted to start this game because now it's third down and we had to punt it to them, but we've gotten it back pretty quickly and this is going to give us a chance to score. You know this high school is a wealthy one whenever they have an athletic center near their field, but it hasn't stopped us from having success on this drive at least, and I still don't know how to say his name. During this matchup, he's been the main receiver that I keep going back to, and on 2nd and 10, I'm hoping to step up in the pocket and hit Marcus Byers, where I was going to do just that all along. But the star dropped the football, so now it's 3rd and long, and we are not going to pick it up. We've sent our high school kicker out there to drill this one down the middle though, and all Round Rock has been able to do, just like us, is get a field goal. I'm also going to try to take the top off of their D, but that didn't work out for us, so I need to be a little bit smarter about the reads I make. 3rd and 10 now. I feel like I've been doing the right thing, but we finally got a catch at least, and that's all that I'm asking for out of these wide receivers if I put it in the right spot. In order to make the high school playoffs here in Texas, I think we can only lose 1 or 2 games, and there's no telling how the rest of this season could play out. On a 3rd and 12, we have to pass the ball, of course, and I don't think this is going to be enough. So once again, I have to watch our kicker go out there, and that had enough on it. Round Rock would score on their next possession, taking a 4-point lead, but I'm going to break the sack. There's still plenty of time back here, and that's going to allow me to deliver a dart over to the left side of the field. That is exactly what we needed before the half, since there's now only like 50 seconds left, and surely at least one school can take note of it. I just threw for my first touchdown, but to open up the 3rd quarter, the Round Rock quarterback did the same, so we find ourselves losing 17-13, and that is going to be inaccurate. We cannot afford to be stopped again. I just don't know what to do, and we're very lucky they'd only get a field goal on their next drive. Normally, they do leave our checkdowns open, but there's not much time, and whenever there is, it's 3rd down, so you can't go to them, but we'll do that here. I'm starting to feel the pressure, and you have to wonder why they even benched our starting quarterback for me in the first place. I mean, we were winning just fine, but I beat him out at practice, and this is going to be a 3rd down again. I think it'll also be the final play of the 3rd quarter where our running back was open over on the right side, but there's a lot of pressure going into the 4th, and I'm going to try to throw for a touchdown if it's open, but instead I did the wrong thing. That ball was not placed where I thought it would be. Now we have to try to fit it into that window, and Alec has been able to make things a tie game. We would also stop them on defense, so we could actually win this entire thing, and look at that. Alec is having an incredible game, and now it's Byers that's going to have a chance to make plays after the catch, but there's still 3 minutes left, and I'm not able to chew the clock, so even if we do score, they're going to have a chance to respond back. I'm really hoping our defense can hold on. It is 3rd and 10, and they left somebody open, but he was marked short, so it's 4th and 1. They're going to hand it off, and Oliver got blown up in the backfield. We are just 1 first down now from the win. That's what we wanted, but it's out of my control. I'm just handing the ball off and hoping that Hughes Jr. gets enough. Now coach has me taking a knee, and we'd walk away with our 5th win of the year. I had another pretty impressive stat line, so I'm not surprised I've gotten my first scholarship offer, and the Miners wanted me a lot sooner than Tulane or North Texas. They've been keeping track of my breakout season as a senior quarterback, but Austin Lake Travis is the toughest team we've had to play yet. We're both top 25 teams trying to make it to the playoffs, and right now these are the teams that are ranked at the top of Texas. I don't exactly know how regions work in the state, but just looking at the rest of our schedule, this is going to be the toughest game we have coming up, and it's probably very important that we don't lose. Even the menu screens look pretty cool on this mod, so I'm very thrilled with how it all came together. And since high school is not on Road to Glory in College Football 25, I think this is still the best way to get that feel that you're looking for before you decide to start your career, and we're starting off right. I don't know if we'd still make the playoffs if we lost to Lake Travis, so we cannot afford to. And here on 1st and 10, I can see that they're getting pressure, and I'm hoping I can outrun this guy. I did, and now we're going to throw a laser. To be honest, before the play, I was looking into the windows of all of the stadium stuff behind me, because you can see that there's like desks and stuff in those rooms, and I don't know what stadium this is on the game. I know the creator of the mod told me that he added some more high school stadiums from other iterations of NCAA football, so this could be that. And on 3rd and goal, please tell me that we're going to get the touchdown. We did, and our defense also was able to get an interception, giving us a chance to go up 14-0. So now all we have to do is hand it off, and we'll take it. Come on. This is the one matchup where I'm not worried about my own stat line, because I just want us to get the win. And I'd say that was a pretty good first quarter. I mean, they did score, but they also haven't stopped us yet, and we continue to move it. So all is well. We're going to go with a little bit of play action here, and I guess I'll go back to our tight end. Personally, I kind of wish coach just had me hand this one off on 3rd and inches, but I missed the right read to make, and now it's a sack. They would score after that, but then we responded back with a kick return for a touchdown. So with a minute left in this first half, we're up 21-14. Our defense also got a stop, and now I'm just trying to get us at least a field goal. I think a 2-possession lead would be plenty, and I'm trying to not force the ball, but I'm laying down after the play hurt, so I wouldn't get back out there on the field until this point in the the third quarter, but I'm going to start it with a good throw. And all we needed was our receiver to hold on to the football. 3rd and 9 now. I'm going to have to fit it into that window to Samson Jr., and we're lucky that they gave us the first. We're also fortunate that even though I was out, we've maintained a 7-point lead. But we all know the backup might even be better than me, and this 3rd and 2 is going to be dropped as well. We kind of deserve to lose this game because we've been making mistakes, and with 4 minutes left, we're tied. I cannot believe that they just sacked me, but on 3rd and 14, we should convert. And on this next play, I want to force it into another tight window, so that's what I'm doing, and I don't know what happened. To be honest, I don't know if this was intercepted or we caught it. It looks like they did not get the football, and we did not deserve that there. I don't know why I tried to make something like that happen, but I'm impatient. I like to make cool things go our way, and there we go. We took the lead, but they scored pretty quickly, and it's 35-all with 2 minutes left, but we have the ball, so we should be fine. I like that all the pressure is on me to make something happen. I'm also going to try to just step up and then find Samson Jr. He has a lot of space on that right side of the field, and he's going to get caught. The only problem with that is things might have happened a little bit too quickly, and it just hit me that we have 35 points in this game, but I still haven't thrown for a single touchdown. They want me to run it on 3rd and goal though, and I'm going to get in, so we just need our defense to lock in. It is 4th and 10, and that is going to be another completion against them. They'd score on the next play, tying it up again, and I might just send up a prayer hoping for the best unless somebody gets open last second, which might happen here, as that one is going to be swatted. To get in field goal range with 24 seconds left, we need a miracle, but we might have it because they decided to press our receivers, and he is going to go to the 20. It was Alex, so I was never going to try to say his last name, but now all we have to do is make sure we remain in field goal range, and why'd I do that? We had to waste a timeout, but we're just going to hand it off one more time, and I'm the reason we're going to beat Austin Lake Travis. That was the best game of my career, but touchdown-wise, it was probably the worst, so I didn't win player of the game, and I'm just hoping that I have at least one more scholarship offer. Well, that didn't happen, but a couple more schools are interested in me, so I guess we'll take that, and I'm officially a 2-star recruit. I've also become a hometown hero, so I can start to use hot routes, and if I keep improving my player with stuff like this, I'm going to be very good. Parker Heights is a top 12 team, so right now we would make the Texas playoffs, but we have to keep winning, and next up is Shadow Creek. At least it's a Friday night game, so if our home stadium was ever going to be rocking, this is probably a good chance for that to happen, and Marcus Byers gets a first down. That's what you're looking for, just building some confidence up from the start. And on 2nd and 6, they're trying to get in some blitzers, but we had plenty of time to find somebody. It kind of stinks that we still haven't gotten any big offers because I don't know who I'm going to start my road to glory with, but I was hoping it would be a bigger school, and right now all I have is smaller options. That means we really need to dominate in the second half of the season in order to have some other ones, and it would help if we could pick up this 4th and 7, which we do because Samson Jr. got the ball. How you start a game really sets the tone for how the rest of the night plays out, so we've put an emphasis on this first drive, and I'm going to try to force it into that window. I cannot believe that worked, but it took them 0 time to respond back, so their defense has an opportunity to get the first stop of the game, but we're not going to let that happen. Now it's 2nd and 6, and our tight end is streaking up the middle of the field, and as long as coach continues to let me throw the ball, I think we're going to be just fine. I need the touchdowns though, so thankfully they bit there, and I can't believe that our defense hasn't been able to stop them yet. Shadow Creek might be really good at football. We need shootouts like this though if I'm going to get some college offers, and I had to wait a long time to find Scully for the first, which has put us in a position to now throw it deep down the field. That is a mismatch size-wise and also speed-wise. After I got that ball off though, you're going to see me get absolutely destroyed here in the pocket, so unfortunately it looks like I got injured, and I'm going to have to watch from the sidelines until I'm good enough to go back out there on the field. And by the time I was healthy enough to go back out there, it is somehow 34-17. Clearly our defense has not done a good job of getting stops, and Garrett Grady didn't on offense. And this is not good because I'm afraid one loss might keep us out of the Texas high school playoffs, even if it shouldn't. If my coach continues to make me hand the ball off, there's not much I can do besides just hope Hughes Jr. does enough. And this is ridiculous. Injuries have really affected this season for me. What's worse is the play calling though, because we're punting it back to them, and it took our defense 4 quarters to get a stop, but it's not going to matter because we have to come back from 17 points down, and I just threw it up. From that point, they would run out the rest of the clock, but I felt like there wasn't much I could do about it, and Shadow Creek hands us our first loss. I'm not looking too happy over on the bench either, but the reason for that is I don't think this is enough. The only thing that's changed about my recruiting is New Mexico also wants me to be on scholarship, but I'm so far away from earning an SEC offer, and we've fallen all the way down to number 24 in the polls. We have to finish the regular season undefeated with programs like IMG on our schedule, and I hope Tyler Legacy's defense plays like a 73 overall. I have to become better than a 2-star recruit, and it looks like on this first play I could try to go deep, but their corner stuck with our running back, so we didn't have much room to fit it into that window, and now we're going to Samson. Even though he started off the season really slow, he's become one of my favorite receivers to keep going back to. And I think Tyler's one of the bigger counties in Texas, so this might be a difficult matchup for us, but we're already moving it down the field, going down to the 2-yard line where I'm going to get the touchdown with my legs. Our defense also decided to show up today, unlike the last matchup, so we have the ball back up by 7, and it's about time I start to run. I don't know when I'm going to get injured, but it seems to happen more and more often now, so we need a lot of points, and we just fumbled the football away, which we're lucky that we recovered, but it could have been very bad. Anyway, if we could just get up by like 21, I wouldn't be worried about getting hurt, but we just went backwards when we really shouldn't have, and on this next play, we're going to drop the football. So it's a miracle that after punting it back to them, Tyler Lee still has 0 points. Time is winding down in the first quarter though, so I'm just going to be smart, take the running back over on the right side of the field unguarded, and be happy that we're up by 7. It could be more, but what's really important is that we come away with the win, because that seems to do more for scholarship offers and college interest than anything else. And here on 2nd and 3, I'm going to fit it into that window. They might have scored after that, but we're also driving it down the field again, where I'm going to step up, throw this deep post on the run, and how did that work? I cannot believe that was on target, but I feel like that has to go in my huddle tape because that was one of the best plays I've had. 24 seconds left in the half now. What I'm going to do is just roll out and throw up a 50-50 ball. We've already gotten lucky. That one's been in the air for a while, and again, Alec brings it in. I have been blessed with an amazing receiving core here at Harker Heights, and we've just scored 28 points in the first half. By now, it's pretty obvious that we aren't going to lose this game, but I could still stat pad a little bit more, and a dominating win like this should get us back into the conversation for being a playoff team. I'm going to have someone in motion on this next one just so we can fake out the defense for a second, and that was the last time I'd see the field during this game. I did my job though, having my best performance ever, and even though I'm still just a 2-star recruit, I got another scholarship, this time from North Texas, and then also generated interest from 2 Big 12 schools, so now I'm halfway there to getting my first Power 4 offer. I've also continued to make myself a little bit quicker, so I'm hoping we can start to climb up the polls again, because I need to make the playoffs to have more time to be recruited, and the Woodland Highlanders better not stand in the way. I'm a little intimidated though, because their coach is hyping them up, and they're running out with their mascot who's on a horse. They did all of that though just to get stopped on their first drive, and now we have a chance to take the lead, so we should be able to do that, and I think I'm just going to take off to this right side of the field and then try to juke out this defender, which I did. I even made sure that I slid in time, so I'm practicing for college football 25 with that in the wear and tear, and now we're going to go all the way to the 1. I don't know why we didn't just take it in, but we'll get it here. And I was intimidated about playing the Woodlands, but I don't think I have anything to worry about. The only thing that could hurt us is if we keep experiencing drops, but on 3rd and 10, we're going to pick it up. And if Tulane doesn't offer me a scholarship after this game, I'm not sure what I have to do to get one. If I don't get a scholarship offer from a bigger school, that'd be a cool landing spot, but I just turned it over for the first time in a while. And I can't believe I made that mistake. There was no reason for me to try to force it into that window. It shouldn't cost us because the Woodlands cannot do a thing offensively, and now I'm just going to take my checkdowns. But it might cost me the opportunity to play at a bigger school, so I have to make sure that we bounce back. Now that we're down on the goal line, I'm just going to step up and take it in myself. And look at all of those hills in the background. I'm going to throw it up to number 1. He's going to outrun number 8 and hopefully number 1 as well. He broke the tackle at Samson Jr. So it is now 21-0, and that is why I had to keep improving my throw power. After taking a sack though, coach wants me to play it a little bit smarter. And I feel like I've done enough at this point in my career to at least be considered as a 3-star recruit. We've continued to drive down the field, and that is going to be another passing touchdown, which might not even be my last one because I could get another in the 3rd quarter, and it could also come on the ground. By the end of the game, I'd had another remarkable performance, and it might be the first time I've had 6 total touchdowns. As a result, I got that scholarship offer from Tulane, and I also have more Big 12 schools interested in getting me, but somehow I'm still considered as a 2-star recruit, so it's looking like a scholarship to LSU is almost impossible. There's still time for other teams to enter the battle though, and I can't believe we're this far out of the playoffs, but I think we have to finish as a top 12 team, so we better beat 8-1 Brennan High. Their only loss came in overtime, and other than that, they've been solid, but I've moved my way up all the way to becoming a field general, so I'm not worried that we'll lose to them. They've got helmets similar to Michigan's, and on this first drive, they've already gotten in pressure, but they missed the sack, and then I tried to beat them deep. I don't know why I did that. Character got the pick, but they immediately threw one back, so it's like nothing ever happened there, and I couldn't tell you why some of our players are going for one-handed catches, but it's made it 3rd and 17, and I don't think we're going to be able to pick this one up, but Samson Jr. got away. We got very lucky on that play, and now they're leaving everybody open on the field. So Harker Heights is about to go up 7-0, except I've thrown another interception. I'm not quite sure what I was thinking. I'm going to have to lay the hammer here, and instead I couldn't bring him down, and he's fighting for more. But this could really cost me. If I were a bigger college, I would not offer me a scholarship. I'm not sure what I was thinking. And I just hope you all don't watch me for the skill, because we all know I cannot read a defense. I am not great at offense. We're also trailing 7-0, so it would be really nice if we could get some points on this drive. And it is probably best to keep it on the ground because I was able to fake out the defense and I am gone. They then follow that up with a fumble, giving us an opportunity to potentially take the lead here, and I had to take the top off of the defense. Alec is just too quick. He's one of my favorite targets. And if I had to pick one between the 3 wide receivers I have, I don't think I could come up with a true number 1 because they're all the best in their own different ways. 2 sacks to end the first quarter though was not ideal because they could have easily tied the game up, and that cover 2 is going to get destroyed. That drive would eventually stall out though, so it's a good thing with a minute left in the half we still have the lead and the football. We're about to score, and I wish I could just run a little bit more time off before we do. Brennan High is calling timeouts though, so we just have to keep throwing it, and I don't want to run a halfback toss to the short side of the field, so I'm going to flip the play call and hope that Hughes Jr. gets in. I'm not sure how good Harker Heights is in real life, but at least on this mod I'm surrounded by an amazing team, and now with a little bit of play action I'm going to get sacked instantly. I don't know why I try to switch things up. If anything's a problem, it's got to be our offensive line. They can't block to save their lives, but this defense can't stop our deep attack to save their lives either, as Alec has another huge touchdown score. I'm starting to put up some really impressive stats, so I'm hoping some colleges from Texas can start to recognize that, and I'm gonna take this one in myself. That was the last time that I'd be on the field, but if you ignore the 2 interceptions, I was incredible, and I have no idea how I'm still a 2-star recruit. I mean, I'm starting to stand out. I just got interest from Texas A&M, and I'm getting closer to getting my first Power 4 scholarship offer. We've also moved up a decent bit in the rankings, so we're still getting better, but I don't want to face IMG. They've come all the way from Florida just to play against us, and don't even look at their record. I couldn't tell you why they'd be 3-24, but what I do know is we're struggling to get first downs, and something's definitely glitched out if the game is saying that they've played in that many matchups. They would not be performing against us right now if they had. I got a little banged up on that play though, so I wouldn't be back out there on the field until later in the drive when we're inside the red zone against IMG, and surely with all of the motions going on, somebody's going to get confused and be open. I also need to give credit to our defense for what they've been able to do recently, because they've been doing well and IMG's going to send in a blitz. Every time something like that happens, coach wants me to just hand it off, but that means we're starting the second quarter on a 3rd and 19, or even worse, a 3rd and 20 that I'm hoping we can pick up, and that is what's going to happen. It's Alec on the other end of it. Now that I have more coach trust, being able to have some hot routes out there on the field has changed everything. So even if I did struggle earlier in the year, everything's going to be just fine. IMG can't score, and they've also had 0 answers for our offense, which means I'm expecting some better schools to start taking notice of what I've been doing out there on the field, and I should have picked that up, so we're going to go for it, but they're going to stop us. Don't worry, I made up for it though, throwing for 2 more touchdowns, and I better start to get some more scholarships. It just feels disrespectful I'm still considered to be a 2-star recruit, especially since Texas has started to show interest in me, and as long as we can get into the playoffs, I should have an offer from them. What it's probably going to come down to though is if a couple other schools above us lose, and I don't know how conferences and regions work in Texas, but there could be a conference championship. At least I have enough skill points to upgrade my throw power all the way up to a 98, so you can see I've worked hard all season, and I just hope that it pays off. Conroe High School is 7-4, so this feels like a matchup that we should be able to come out on top of, but you all saw all the schools I'm trying to earn scholarships to still, and even if I play amazing in this one, that probably wouldn't be enough. I've been worried about getting into the playoffs since the start of the season, but now there's a chance we really won't, and I guess I just have to hope for the best. With this drag route, Marcus Byers gets 7, so we're very well in range to get our second touchdown of the day, but they went with man-to-man coverage, and I can't outrun them. If our kicker can come out and drill a 43-yarder, that's amazing, but Conroe High School has gotten onto the board, making this a 3-point game, and I can't believe I just got away with that throw. Force feeding it to the tight ends always seems to work though, and there's a lot of play action, which I haven't been able to decide helps or hurts us. I mean, it's all my coach seems to want to call. We're getting a touchdown, but every so often I'll take a sack because of it, and the Tigers got a field goal to make it a 2-possession game. I probably should have taken the drag underneath, but I decided to run instead. I feel like we've played in this stadium before, so maybe we played another team that's in the same school district as Conroe. If that's how Texas football works, I really don't know. I feel like there's so many big stadiums over there that some of the schools probably end up sharing. They probably should have picked that too, but they didn't, and with a minute left in the 3rd quarter, we're only up by 4 points, so this one's going to be tight. I figured we'd pull away just like we have in the rest of them, but that hasn't been the case, and I'm just going to dump this one off to our fullback who actually got us the first down. Ever since that though, coaches had me running the football, and I just don't have anywhere I can go. So this is going to be an interesting start to the 4th quarter, and I have the option to throw the ball, so I'm going to take that C route over on the right side of the field to Samson Jr. who also got free, and he is gone to the crib. That was exactly what we needed because we'd also get the ball back after that, and there's no way that they're going to come back now that we're down this far. If I'm able to get in, we will have a 3-possession lead, and we finished the regular season 11-1. Now we just have to wait to find out if that's enough to make the playoffs. But before that, we'll see what new schools want me, and because I'm officially a 3-star recruit, I thought I was going to have better options to choose between than these. As you can see, somehow we still don't have an offer from a Power 4 school, and I couldn't tell you how this mod handles conference or region champions, but Longview was the one to make it from ours because they went 12-0. As for us, I'm just hoping we sneak into the playoffs, and we did better than just that, making it as the 8 seed. Our schedule wasn't the toughest, but we have a shot at winning the Texas High School Championship, and to get through the first round, we have to beat South Lake Carroll. Apparently that's where Quinn Ewers played, but we do get to host it, and if there were ever going to be a ton of eyes on me, this would be the moment, so I better step up and have my best game yet. I should probably be careful about running the football though, because the last thing I want to do is get injured, and we're already getting close to midfield. I'm hoping that with that man-to-man coverage they don't stick, because as long as we keep throwing the ball, I think we're going to be just fine against them. The schools we've struggled versus have been the ones that have sacked me multiple times to start the day, and South Lake Carroll's getting in almost no pressure at all. Unfortunately though, I'm not going to get credit for this touchdown run, even though I worked my team all the way down the field and their quarterback's already thrown an interception. Right now, just thinking of my college options, I'd go to either Tulane or North Texas, but this could really help because every time I throw a touchdown pass, I have a better chance at getting a Power 4 scholarship, and I can't get out of there. I am really surprised that they haven't scored yet, and their defense just can't stop me. So things are setting up for us to have Duncanville in the next round, assuming it stays the same way it has been. I know one of the creators of the mod is a huge fan of Duncanville because he asked me to use them for this, so I'm terrified of what it's going to be like playing against that team, but we still have to finish taking care of business. They'd finally score, which means even though we're up 21-7, there's still an opportunity for them to get back in it, and they've stacked the box, so I'm assuming they're sending a blitz, but it turned into an interception. I don't know how we lost our leverage here. I threw that to the inside, but they still got the pick, and we're only up by 7. That's what I'm saying. It's never safe no matter what the lead is. The turnover also doesn't help my case for playing for a bigger school in the future, but one of the cool things about College Football 25 Road to Glory is there's the transfer portal, so I can always move around. And now that we're inside the red zone, I want to go right back to our tight end where I floated that perfectly. Austin Sicoli deserves a little bit of respect as well, because he had to hold on to that ball, and on this next play, I think I'm gonna send it deep, but it did not go deep. I don't know what happened there, but their man-to-man coverage is sticking on the slant. I've probably thrown that way too late, and it's kind of a miracle that we're still up by 2 possessions here in the third quarter. It's not been my best showing, but I just care that we get the win, and I've made a read way too late. I don't know how Hughes Jr. was able to get us that, but thankfully him just randomly being at that spot in the field made this a 3rd and manageable, and if we're able to score a touchdown on this drive, I'd like to think that we would be headed to the quarterfinals. Hughes Jr. again gets the football to make a play for us, outrunning a lot of people, and Mike's just one of the 2 decent running backs on this roster. McLaurin's also broken free. He is gone, and an immediate turnover from South Lake Carroll makes this game a wrap. We're gonna win this one 42-24, a 3-possession win over a good team, and now we'll see if we're on the level of Duncanville. I feel like we are since I'm playing like this, but they're also gonna be the best team I've had to face yet. At least I finally got a Power 4 scholarship offer though from Oklahoma State, and since Texas has been interested in me, now Oklahoma is too. If I'm gonna get a scholarship from either of those schools though, it's probably Texas, and it was about time that I was considered a 3-star recruit. I might be in trouble though because I'm about to play the best ranked team in Texas, and we're about to see how good Duncanville really is. Now the playoff games are in huge stadiums, so we get to run out of a massive tunnel, and here we are in AT&T Stadium with all the pressure in the world. You can already see that some of our wide receivers aren't taking it well, and we just fumbled it. So it's 3rd and 19 very early on, and I'm just going to be patient to try get it out. They would score immediately after, so that's not what you want to see, but I've been a master at taking these deep posts all throughout the year, so that's what we have done, and Samson Jr. is going all the way to the crib, I would hope. If he got caught, I would have been very disappointed in him, but he didn't, and I'm just glad that we held them to a field goal. Approaching the end of the first quarter, we're certainly not out of this one yet, but in order to keep up, we might have to score on the rest of our drives, and I told you all in the last game, I was afraid of how good Duncanville might be just because they're somebody's favorite. They might actually be one of the best schools in Texas though. I honestly have zero clue, and it's a shame that somebody hasn't made this mod with Kentucky yet, because then I could really play with myself, and that did not come out right. Either way, we continue to push it down the field, and I think I'm just going to check this one down to Hughes Jr. because with all these eyes on me, I'm not risking the turnover, and he just picked up the block for me, but it's not going to matter. Now we find ourselves in a 3rd and 12, and I don't want to force it again. I think I might just try to run, or maybe I will get it over to McLaurin. That was worth taking the risk. We're up by 4, and it took them no time to score again. Their offense has been flawless, but ours has also not been bad as Samson Jr. gets another big one. I'm telling you all, those post routes are so good. They've been working flawlessly for us in this entire game, but they're taking timeouts, so they're going to try to get their chance to have points before the half. Somehow I didn't get in there, so I'm going to have to do it here, and at least for the moment, we do have a lead, but they got a touchdown with 4 seconds left, and then they got the ball first in the third quarter, so they had another, and we're trailing by 10. I know our first drive in this game was pretty rough, but outside of that, we've played well, and for whatever reason, we can't hike the ball out of Wildcat, so we had to delay a game to start our new set of downs, and that's not a great start. That was also an inaccurate pass, and this isn't good. I don't know what I could have done differently here. I stood tall in the pocket and just missed, which means now we're down by 17 because our defense is absolutely useless out there on the field. I'm afraid this is where my high school career is going to end though, even though it's been solid and I tried to throw that on the run. But you can see there's no chance they were letting me get that off, and I want to go for these deep posts, but it's not working. I got hurt there trying to force the deep ball just because I wanted to get some quick points, and I wouldn't get back out there until now, where there's only 3 minutes left in the game, and I don't think it's possible to come back. We went from playing so well to struggling, and I just keep throwing it up, but their DBs are sticking pretty well until Samson Jr. gets another breakaway TD. But our kicker missed the extra point, and that meant it stayed a 3-possession game, but we never saw the ball again, so it didn't really matter. We're just gonna have to watch as they celebrate getting into the semifinals, and now we've gotten to the point where I might have to make a college decision. I played pretty well, so I'm expecting to get a few more offers, especially since if you just ignore the interceptions, these are some pretty impressive numbers, but it wasn't good enough to get me higher than a 3-star rating. I would have a few more schools interested in me though, so I selected another SEC one, and at the end of the day, there were a lot of Power 4 schools wanting me on scholarship, so I can choose between all these colleges besides LSU and Oklahoma. Unfortunately, I never earned that scholarship to LSU like I wanted, but I'm still happy with how my high school career went because at least I have a lot of options, and the next video in this series, I'll be making my college decision, and I'll also be playing College Football 25 Road to Glory for the very first time.